try to look serious. That is the key, and I think I did it. So, all right, I think we're going here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 31st remote edition of Folk You, and this is a singer-songwriter round robin that has been going on here in the greater Chicagoland area since December of 2001. So we're well past the 20-year mark. And let me, I'm your host, Larry Odine. I've been running this thing since the very beginning. Let me welcome, first of all, the two performers who are with me tonight in the order they are on the screen right now, but this is definitely not a descending order in terms of quality. Nick Juno, my fellow Michigander, nice to have you back, Nick. And Lupe Martinez, my fellow Chicagolander. So glad to have her back. And it's been a month of Sundays, as some would call it, however we want to interpret that, since I finally was able to coax Lupe back. So pleased to have her. So let me give a quick spiel while and holding these two in thrall and tell you what my idea of what a round robin is, because if you're tuning in, you may know or have some idea, but they're not all exactly the same. So round robin is an opportunity for songwriters to get together and play material that they've either written themselves or co-written, original material, and called a round robin because everyone does a short set. Who's playing? In our case, it's three people. Everyone does a short set, and then it passes to the next person in order, and then from them it passes to the next, and so on until it comes back around again to the first performer. And it does that in so many passes. We're going to be doing 3 passes tonight, so you get 3 bites of the singer-songwriter apple here. And I'm excited again to have these two singers and songwriters joining me. We'll see how this thing goes. Nick, Lupe, do you have any words before I send you down to the green room to have some of those delicious snacks we were discussing?
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
No. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your songs, and I just think it's great. Thank you for having me. And Lupe, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And this is going to be fun.
Yes.
All right. Well, you set the bar high saying it's going to be fun. I thought it was going to be a complete disaster. So, all right, it's fun. It will be. So, Lupe, we will see you in just a little bit.
Sounds good.
Happy to have you.
Yes, thanks for having me, and rock on, guys.
Oh,
See you soon.
And Nick, ditto. See you a little less time than Lupe.
All right.
Hold on. Boom. Okay. Let me have a pre-performance quaff. I'm so glad to have these two performers here tonight. And as I was telling them that, month to month, this is my, favorite thing to do. And of course, 31 remote shows since the onset of the pandemic, which, things are looking a lot better. I've not done any live shows still. Personally, I'm a poet as well. I've done some readings, but, I think the efforts to sing, such as it is in my case to sing, it just, I'm still a little leery of it. And for what it's worth, let me say this. I finally had a bout of COVID, and I'd been able to avoid it. And of course, I got it from somebody else who's completely super careful. And it was just one of these things where, you can never be 100% sure. And, it was, for all that, it was pretty mild, but it was not pleasant in the long, it took me 2 weeks to really, feel a little bit better. I still have a little, scratchy throat. I don't know if that's allergies because of our weird weather here in the Chicago area. Cold today, but I mean, it's been unusually warm. But so hopefully I won't have like a bridge in one of these songs that's like a series of coughs. I think I'm past that, but let's find out. So once again, so happy to have the Nick and Lupe here tonight. And I had been largely focusing on material from my band over the last couple months, the Injured Parties, because we're getting ready to record our 3rd album. We haven't been post-holidays. We haven't gotten together. It's already February, but there's a couple different reasons for that. But it was all material from that album. And I think I'm doing one song that's earmarked for that. So I decided to dig back into the Dean Oeuvre, just because I like to use the word oeuvre. And in fact, I'm going to play one I haven't played in quite a while. That's from this album of mine, can I get that? No, it's not reflecting. I guess if I hold it down, otherwise you get the horrible reflection. Sir Slob is the name of the album, which coincidentally was from the year that I started Folk U. And the song I'm going to play from is called Time to Kill. It was the leadoff song on there. Just hadn't played it in a while. Seemed like I didn't even realize that it was tied in with the first year of Folk U. So maybe in the back of my mind, I was deciding should pick something from that album, but it was really more about the song. So let me knock off the jibber jabber and let me get into the song, Time to Kill. Every nail's head hammered in with the heel of your shoe, improvising so the job got done, so the goal was achieved, looking for something to do instead of something to need. So uncomfortable in your own skin, a vacationer who can't settle in. If there's an afterlife, you make a plan to occupy yourself, doing whatever you can. Can't leave well enough alone, can't sit and keep still instead of smelling the roses. Got time to kill. Maybe time is the enemy, only if to it you're unfriendly. Was it your dad did this to you? Never met the man without something to do, without something to fix, without something to make. When you got plenty of something, even if it all breaks. But if you crack, there is no glue to put back together those parts of you, adding up to the whole that's felt fractured unless in control. Got to fight that urge to just do that last chord at the end. I guess I didn't fight it too well because there she blows. Well, all right. That was, again, Time to Kill from my the vaunted Sir Slob album. One that I've been kind of thinking about remastering, 20 years later. I like the stuff on there. I like the sound of it overall. It's just one of those I know there's a lot of differing philosophies about remastering stuff, and for a guy at my level of performance and musicianship, and well, let's not put it that way. In my relationship to the global economy vis-a-vis music, in some ways it's like, why bother to do a remaster? But I've been thinking about it, and I think I want to revisit the songs and kind of hear them brightened up a little bit. It's kind of a murky mix on the album. But anyway, so that was Time to Kill. So the second song I've got planned here, checking my notes such as they are, is from this my most recent solo album called Good Grief. And Lupe is the co-singer on many of these songs here, and I have to say, I believe she sings on this one. And she totally classed up this album. Everyone that played on this, aside from me, totally classed up this album. And I knew her from playing with her band, and I loved her voice. And I mean, she just improved the song so much. So I'm not just saying that because she can hear me right now, but she just totally brought the stuff to life. I've gotten so much more comfortable with my own voice over the years. I mean, I think back to when I first, started playing music, and, it was from, well, it's a long story, but probably was not the greatest singer back in those days. Never studied singing, didn't take choir or anything like that in school. Came at it more from the songwriter perspective. I was interested in, hearing these great songwriters. And then I thought, well, I want to do this. And I've definitely gotten more comfortable with my own voice. But, when people sit down and they harmonize with each other, and, they can like knock that stuff out. I'm not saying it's not difficult, but it's like blows me away. So again, Lupe just really made me sound like a much better singer on that album. So for this song, which is called Do Not Follow, it was inspired by, I think I was driving behind some sort of city vehicle, and might have been a garbage truck or something, and it had that across the bottom, do not follow, and then it's like within 5 feet of this vehicle. And I just thought, oh, that's a great, mantra-ish title for something. So and this is another one I haven't played in a while, so happy to revisit it for this occasion. Do Not Follow. It's time to get back what we had when we started, before it all blew away. Like a bunch of dead leaves spawned from the trees that were alive yesterday. It happens like that, the blink of an eye, and you're wondering where it all went wrong. Now that you didn't try enough or hard, or too little or too long. Do not follow where others have already gone. Do not follow too close behind what's been done. The talk out of both sides of their mouths. Confusion is the key to keeping you unbalanced, to making you care what anyone else thinks. Do not follow where others have already gone. Do not follow too close behind what's been done. You dress for success in the clothes of the moment, bought right off the rack. Well, just look around, today's fashion plates, tomorrow hate, shirts on their back. Authority, the rulers and the ruled lined up like dominoes. If one should fall forward or to the side, who knows where things would go? Do not follow where others have already gone. Do not follow too close behind what's been done. Do not follow, others have already gone. Do not follow too close behind what's been done. Oh, you're muted, Nick. Now you're demuted.
Bravo.
No, thanks. Thank you so much. I had not played that one in a while, and so when I was, plotting the show for today, I thought, oh, what's on that album? That Lupe was all over, and
No, I like the way you write songs about things that happen and things that you see, because that's how I'm the same way. Like I'll see something, or I'll think about it, and a song can come out of it. So "Do Not Follow" is and I can picture that perfectly. The garbage truck or the construction zone, or the metaphor that it conjures. It's great.
yeah, there's another song. I'm not. I always think of these two in tandem. "American Comfort," which I used to play all the time. I would open sets with it, and an Injured Party song. But that was a billboard drive. I used to have a job in Gary, and I used to drive 94, and I would look up, and there was this big billboard that said "American Comfort," and I think it was for a mattress company. And
that's great, yeah.
And I drove by that thing so many times, and every time I think, oh, that's a great title, but it just kind of like it just went back into the back of my brain. And then at one point, finally, it's not exactly something you forget, but I would sort of forget it until I passed by there again.
Yeah,
at one point, I was driving on the highway and I saw it, and damn it, I looked for this first spot where I could pull off on the shoulder, and I just had to make a quick note, "American Comfort," because I thought I don't remember it until I see the sign again, and lo and behold, there you go. So
I think it's great. That's how songwriters. That's how we are. We latch onto something. Like if you're like me, I'll think about something and start a song, and then I've got to finish it because it's like
right.
A dog with a bone. I just want to finish it.
Right. Well, I know there's others like Paul Westerberg famously just writes lines down and then later puts it all together. If he still writes anymore, I think he's retired now. Who knows? Yeah. But that's a method I've never really been able to do.
I haven't either. I maybe you should try that. I've never done that. I always try to
get the whole thing right.
Yeah. Well, and because maybe not as sophisticated like that, but like the old come from the folk thing where I want to tell a story, so I kind of know where it's going. Even when I start it, I kind of know where it wants to go.
Yeah.
And so I just need to fill it in.
And that's a good way to put it. Kind of know where it wants to go. So it's like the song or the lyric takes over, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You may not know exactly where, but once you go, if you start going and go in that forward motion, even if nothing, even if it doesn't all exist still, it's telling you where to go.
And that's right. And maybe Lupe's songs, your songs, my songs. It's funny how to when you write a song, a half an hour ago, it was just thin air. And now there's a song.
Yeah.
And you'll always have that song. And it's kind of almost like you made a nice chair or a nice, piece of furniture. Or there it is, That's what I love about it.
Or a delicious pie.
A delicious pie, yes.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll last longer than the pie, though. Yeah, because you want to eat that sucker.
Speaking of pie, now don't forget, you promised very nice things in the green room, smorgasbord.
Oh, that's right. They're coming.
The pie.
Yeah, they're being delivered by one of those drones that Amazon has now.
Oh, that's great.
And I got to deal with them. So yeah.
Okay.
Right. All right. Anyway, it's coming. All right. So I'm gonna get out of here and I'll let you do your thing. And so happy to have you back.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much.
Of course. We'll see you next time around.
Oh, hey, Larry, before you go, just check the guitar's on.
Oh, it's on, baby.
Is it too loud?
Well, you're not really wailing on it yet, right?
I don't wail.
Okay, no, you're a gentler soul. Yes. No, it sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, man. See you in a bit.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me tonight. It's Larry. Thanks for having me, Lupe. It's so great to meet you and talk to you, and I can't wait to hear your songs. My first song tonight is going to be something I wrote last year, right before the holidays, because it seemed like the holidays came around again, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then New Year's, and they come faster and faster and faster. And I thought, man, here it is, New Year's again. And it inspired a song that I call Another Old New Year's Again. Should old acquaintance be forgot as the hands go spinning? It's another old New Year's again. The stars in the heavens, the planet Earth spins its yearly conclusion again and again as new resolutions end where they begin. It's another old New Year's again. It's another old New Year's, another day gone. Halfway after sunset, halfway on calendar page being torn. It's another old New Year's again. So here's to the family, here's to the friends, here's to the lies that have come to an end, and here's to our plans that life's torn into shreds. It's another old New Year's again. It's another old New Year's, another year gone. Halfway after sunset, halfway until dawn. Another old calendar page being torn. It's another old New Year's again. Should old acquaintance be forgot? It's another old New Year's again. Happy New Year's in February. So a lot of my songs, as a folk singer-songwriter, topical stuff, a lot of my songs come right out of the newspaper or the headlines or a story that I've heard or a history book that I've read about. And this next song is a story about something that happened to a man here in Michigan. He won a multi-million-dollar lottery and unfortunately was not able to keep it for very long. And the newspaper said that a considerable amount of the money was spent on fireworks. And the poor man got into some trouble, ended up in the court system, did some time in jail, and unfortunately a couple years ago was found floating down the Tittabawassee River and lost everything, including his life. And so this song, and I mean no disrespect, the song is written for that man. It's sort of a cautionary tale in a way, but it tells the story how money isn't everything. And this is a song called, I call this the Lousy Couple of $1 Million Scratch-Off Ticket Blues. Where the money comes and the money goes, kind of funny how the troubles hang around. We come into this world with nothing, going out the same way, and the Tittabawassee River rolls on. You ever forget a song halfway through it? I didn't. Let's see if I can recover. Well, your pockets are turned back inside out the way it all began, and the Tittabawassee River falls on. So you found out the hard way, money isn't everything, and you learned that life changing wasn't what you thought it could mean. Like a Roman candle with a bang, then it's gone, and the old Tittabawassee rolls on. So you found out the hard way, money isn't everything, and you learned that life changing wasn't what you thought it would mean. Like a Roman candle with a bang, then it's gone, and the old Tittabawassee rolls on. Well, the money comes and the money goes, kind of funny how the troubles hang around. Now your pockets are turned back inside out the way it all began, and your pockets are turned back inside out the way it all began. I said you begin into this world with nothing, going out the same way, and the Tittabawassee River rolls on. I said the Tittabawassee rolls on. Hey Lupe, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Oh, you're muted.
There we go. There you go.
There you go.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I forgot your lyrics because I do that all the time, and you didn't have to say anything because not many people are familiar with your music, so it's, you could have played it off kind of like the same.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. That's right. It's true.
Great guitarist, great lyricist. Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Right on. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you're gonna do. So have you been? You're in the Chicago area. I'm here outside north of Detroit. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I'm in South Chicago, and I met Larry comparing. I think we played a show for him. My memory is terrible, but it was well over 15 years ago.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. Larry and I, we've never actually met in person, but we came from the same area in Flint and played a lot of the same clubs. I kind of followed after him, and so we actually have that in common where we've played different places together here. And one day I hope to come to Chicago and do this live when it's up and running again. So I'll come over there. That'd be great.
Yes, come on down or come on up. I don't know where we are.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. Well, great. I can't wait to hear your song. Let's hear what you're gonna do.
All right, let's do it. Cool.
Thanks.
See you soon. All right. Hello, everybody. This is crazy that I'm nervous, but that's just how it is every time. I feel like I'm playing an open mic, which I haven't done in years, but that's where I started. And well over 20 years ago, playing coffee shops when that was a thing to do. And early 20s, I wrote a lot of songs about uncertainty and just not knowing what I was doing with my life. So I'm going to start with a timeline kind of songs I wrote. This is probably one of the first ones. It's called For Tomorrow. I haven't played it in probably 15 years. And here we go. Let's do this. With my kid here. tell me that everything is gonna be alright. But you've got to let things get figured out on their own sometimes. In solitude with my own thoughts, I try to piece together these scattered feelings. With no time will tell me all these answers that we've been searching for. Oh, life can bring me joy. Oh, life can bring me peace. Oh, this life can bring me sorrow. Help us stand strong for tomorrow. Oh, 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 oh. With every dawn comes a meaning of the end. And end of all this darkness, a beginning of these blossoming dreams. They shimmer with only a glimpse of hope, but they shimmer all just the same. And take hold of this new promise and get closer to that better place. Oh, life can bring me joy. Oh, life can bring me peace. Oh, this life can bring me sorrow. I'll stand strong. We'll try to find our way as we journey through each and day. We can't hold everything about what our future holds. But I will keep my faith and pray that we'll be safe together with the loved ones. Never ever stray. Oh, love can bring me joy. Oh, life can bring me peace. Oh, this love can bring me sorrow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, life can bring me joy. Oh, life can bring me peace. Oh, this love can bring me sorrow. Stand strong for tomorrow. Oh, 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 oh. All right. Thanks for listening. Yeah. Thank you. I have a little audience in here. So I'm going to tune my guitar because it's bothering me that it's a little out of tune. It's the E string, I think. Anyway, so yeah, that was a trip. That was kind of remembered the lyrics for the most part. So yeah. All right, so the next song, what is it going to be? This one was written like maybe 10 years later when I lived alone, or I had my two girlfriend roommates, and they're like my best friends, and just thinking about all, yeah, I met them like maybe 15 years before we moved in together, maybe 10 years, but yeah, just like being thankful for the loved ones that are in my life. I forgot what the song title is, but it's okay. I think it's called Mic Check because I wrote it during a mic check. So here it goes. Living in the city, watching lights from inside. Should I stay home? That I say, sitting at the gate of my past. Growing up, it comes too fast. The best thing for me to do day. If the night, and if the world would end, it would be just fine, my friend. Searching for the kid in my past. Growing up becomes too fast. Best I'm ready to do is go anywhere with you. Window of bags, we glide up the path of memory. Breathe so dead. You've been there through the days. So dear, you've been there, you've been there, yes. Thank
You
you.
got some stereo applause there. Yeah.
My little audience.
Oh,
Thanks,
sounds terrific.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I like that idea of doing like the chronological, like going back to some of the earliest stuff. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next songs will be like in Spanish, and yeah, just trying to show. Yeah. The Aya stuff. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, I think that might be how we met initially. Was
I
Aya
don't even know how we met, but I think we had what was the event? It was for
in December, up until a couple years ago, the Alex Chilton show, the birthday bash.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I heard Aya on the radio, or I can't remember, and it just was fantastic, and reached out to see if you guys wanted to play. And I have to say, first of all, as an guitarist, you're great, period. Your electric guitar playing was great in that band. And you guys did one of the best versions of Kangaroo that I've ever heard, which, if I remember, was like 10 minutes long or something. It was really stretched out. It was fantastic.
That was a really fun show. And it was awesome to like play that show, just to play that song, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and it was...
what song it was even.
Yeah, you would have played a couple of them, but that's the one that really sticks in my head because it was just such a superb, way to play the song. With any cover, what's the point of playing a note for note cover, especially for something like this, that particular show where it's like celebrating his songwriting and the fluidity of it, the ability to like make his stuff. In some respects, he's not maybe as respected for his songwriting. Well, maybe that's not how people used to think of him initially, but and then to see just how flexible the songs were. So you guys totally got it, and everything you did was great, but that one in particular just blew me away.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And you're sounding really good tonight. So
thank you. Yeah. It's nerve-wracking. Like, this is like I said, it's like, it feels like I'm like doing a open mic. I'm not, it's been a minute since I've done something like this.
Well, the irony of something like this is that, if it's done live, there's to me, it takes some pressure off when it's a round robin because you're not doing a complete set. You do a couple songs and then, but I've known other people where the opposite was true. It's like they hated, like once they started to get into it, they felt like they had to each time kind of get back into it. You know what I mean? Like develop a momentum when they're playing. But it's ironic that, with the notion of doing all this stuff online, it's like I'm so cozy where I'm at. And yet I always get nervous beforehand too.
Really?
It really, it doesn't remove, I don't think it removes any of that if you're at all paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're just super cocky about it, then probably it's not going to be a problem, but I'm never that way. And so it doesn't matter if I'm here by myself where I'm somewhat in control.
Funny thing. Yeah.
it
No matter how
still
many
puts,
years we've been doing, yeah, we still get
yeah,
nervous, but that's makes keeps us human, I
yeah,
guess.
nerves are fine unless you start peeing your pants or something. That's a problem.
A whole other level of something.
Yeah, I mean, it could be happening now, but we wouldn't know, and
We
that's the
wouldn't
beauty
know.
of this. Yeah,
No,
and that's
exactly.
why I have a
I
bucket
keep
down
it.
here. You know,
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
so
Well, looking forward to hearing you again.
yeah, I'm really pleased you could do this, and I know you were booked before, and then something came up, so
Yeah.
you know,
Thanks
thank
for
God.
being flexible with
Yeah,
everything.
second
Else.
time is the charm.
Exactly. Very cool.
All right, well, I will let you reconnoiter, gather your wits, and I look forward to seeing you on the next pass. And once again, thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me. All right, Larry.
Sure.
Right
Okay.
on.
No, thank you. All right. Wow. So yeah, first pass for me is always like, I mean, I feel maybe a little bit better about it tonight, but and the coughs that I was concerned about, hopefully they're not gonna, fill this set, but I don't think so. No, I'm mind over matter here. But the first round period for me is, even after I'm done, I need to still kind of settle down a little bit. Nerves, the excitement. But especially the first song, once I get through that, I'm already like 90% better. So for this set, and it wasn't designed this way, I was just sort of going through stuff that I felt like I start out with like a pile of stuff that I'm kind of looking at and thinking, yeah, that'd be good to play. All right. And then it whittles down. And then this set is stuff that has not yet been recorded. The second song here, which we're not to yet, but is going to be on that Injured Parties album. And then this one is, I don't know what's going to, possibly earmarked for another solo album, but right now I'm thinking about the Injured Parties record. So right now this one is I wouldn't say it's orphaned. It really doesn't know where it's going. And it was inspired by a line I overheard somebody say. Where was I? I think I was at downtown. I had a job where I was working in the Loop, and I overheard somebody say this. And it's not an uncommon phrase to hear, but it's like Nick and I were talking about, just every now and then something like that will just like ring a bell in your mind, and it's like, oh, just something about that I can work with. Not every song starts with a title, but I think I use that as a model probably more than I'm even aware. So this is called "Are You My Uber?" And when I was originally, it was coming from a place of not being a big fan of the Uber or the Lyft or whatever. Still not, but the song became something quite different from what I thought I was going to write. So, "Are You My Uber?" Are you my Uber? I'd really like to know. I got places to be, and to be I must go. It's too far to walk, believe me, I try. Are you my Uber? And I climb inside. Are you my Uber? I'm already late. Please answer me now, so I can make my escape. I gotta get out of place but here. Are you my Uber? Will you make me disappear? There's an empty place where I used to reside. When they looked for me, I would have to hide. Now I'm watching from the other side and waiting for a ride. Are you my Uber? Let's take a drive. My destination is to simply arrive. I close my eyes, let me know when we're there. Are you my Uber? Take me elsewhere. Are you my Uber? Take me anywhere. Again, fighting the urge to do the town center. Maybe that song doesn't deserve that. So, all right. I have some element of control. Some. All right. Are you my Uber? Perhaps the universal question. So this, as I said, is going to be on this forthcoming Injured Parties album, and it is not based on this info here, but it's part of this larger pool of thought that I had about the topic of the song. Is the hideous Juul, Juul, the vape company, their settlement of I had to write this down, 1.7 billion in December, after all the destruction that they've done. So the song is called Victor's Gonna Vape. I think it speaks for itself. Who's that boy with clouds in his mouth? Opens it up and junk comes pouring out. Can't see his face hidden behind the screen. A fruity formaldehyde and nicotine. Victor's gonna vape. There he goes, turning it on. There he blows. It's not peer pressure that makes him puff, and he only vapes until he's vaped enough. It's a delicate buzz, it's a sublime high. Smoke rising up like cherubs to the sky. Victor's gonna vape, he can't stop. Hit after hit, till he drops. Shenyang in 2003. A Chinese pharmacist made a discovery. All that e-liquid has flooded the globe. We're surfing a tsunami of particulate smoke. Victor's gonna vape. There he goes, turning it on. There he blows. Victor's gonna vape. He can't stop. Hit after hit till he drops. Trying to decide which chord to end that on. C, that sounds like a good place. Ooh, Nick, can't hear you. You're not muted or anything, but
I had my mic off.
oh, okay, there we go.
Yep.
If it ain't one thing, it's another. You're on
like
top of your game.
I like the way the chord that it just hangs out there and goes on. It's still going.
Well, it's one of those songs where it's like it could rip out of the chorus and end it, you know.
Yeah.
And then going back to the verse chord, but then it was like I wasn't necessarily going to end on the C, and the band is still kind of working the arrangement out. Although I think that's pretty close to the way that we're going to do it.
That's great. You know, when you're talking about, I think on your other set you were talking about Pete Townsend, like ending a song. And I had to think, I love The Who. I mean, I love that stuff. I never played in a rock band. I've always been a solo folk singer guy, but I love that kind of stuff. I just never got a chance to be in a band like that, but I love it, and sometimes I hear that, but of course, my songs come out as like this.
Well, the Townsend stuff, I mean, The Who were, really inspirational for me at a young age.
Oh, yeah.
But then jokingly, leading up to this week, the weather hasn't been as cold as it has been for the last couple of days, but my hands, I got the winter hands,
Oh yeah.
And I get a lot of cracks on my fingers, which is murder, especially with the left hand if you're a lefty.
Yeah. Yes.
And on my thumb, I had one that was right in like the worst possible spot where if you're making a chord, it's going to go right into the string.
Yeah. Oh,
and I thought, well, this could be one of those Townsend moments. I remember a famous Rolling Stone cover where his hands were all bloody,
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that'll be a lot of fun if that occurs, But thankfully, no. Although I do have other Band-Aids going on here because I was doing the laundry today. And I'm one of these people who
That's 2 Band-Aids.
Yeah, it is. We live in a high-rise building, public laundry area, and I reached in and I banged the edge of my finger against the plastic rim in there, and I bleed like on a, like the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully, it's not a medical problem, but I thought, oh, great, the worst possible place that this could be. Yeah. So I'm evoking Townsend, and then my last song. Which you've not gotten to yet, was inspired by Pete. So
that's great. That's great.
What the hell have I done here? I've unconsciously created this Townsend mode.
Yes. It's good. That's good.
Yeah. But enough about me. Let's get back to Nick Juno.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Are you good to go?
I'm good to go. Yeah.
All right.
I'll play another one. Yeah.
Let me get the hell out of here. All right. Okay. I'll see you on the next pass.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Okay, so a lot of my songs, again, like I said, I write songs that out of the newspaper or history books or something that I know about or happened or something. And this next song is like that. This is about, I was in the Marine Corps back from 81 through 85, and like I always tell people, I'm nobody's tough guy. I never went to combat, luckily. I went to Hawaii. I was Marine Barracks, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. And this is a story about a sad thing that happened there. One night while on duty, a young Marine standing on the post. Let me back up one step. When you stand guard duty on an old Marine Corps base on like Pearl Harbor, there'd be a podium and a log book, and you'd make log entries like, post 11, all secure, all government property and personnel inside are accounted for, blah, blah, blah. They probably use an iPad nowadays, but back then it was a log book. And you would write, nothing unusual to report at this time. Well, one night while on duty, a young Marine at 11:30 at night pulls the service pistol and commits suicide. Right there, no suicide note. It took everyone by surprise, and nobody, knew what hit him. It was horrible, like suicide always is. But what struck me about that poor young man, and I hope he found peace, is that he's writing in this logbook, nothing unusual to report at this time. Nothing unusual. And I just wish. And suicide with veterans or people from all walks of life is horrible, and it's just. So this is a song about that. And this is called the 2330 Blues. $2,300, post 13 all secure. There's nothing unusual to report at this time. He came from a town outside of Auburn. He joined the Corps on a whim, but the green machine was not his scene. He knew he'd sink if he didn't swim, so he plugged away for a year or so, struggling day by day. And although he'd not gone crazy yet, I guess he knew he was on his way. 2315, post 13 all secure. There's nothing unusual to report at this time. $2,330, post 13 all secure. There's nothing unusual to report at this time. You never think he wasn't happy, but then you never know. I guess everyone's got pain inside, sometimes the pain don't show. Of all the things on his troubled mind, he never said what bothered him most. He drew back the slide on a 45 pistol and relieved himself from his post. 2330, post 13 all secure. There's nothing unusual to report at this time. Well, 10 men went out on the 8 to 12, but one last man came in. The palm tree swaying, I was playing a humble version of Dust in the Wind. Well, everyone's got their opinion and everybody knows, but 1 mile as the crow flies might be 5 as the river flows. 2330, post 13 all secure. There's nothing unusual. There's nothing unusual. There's nothing unusual to report at this time. $2,330 Blues. Okay. I'm known around town as being the happy-go-lucky, cheerful folk singer. Not kidding, of course, I'm not. And but that's like, I love the old murder ballads. I think I told Larry this last time. It seems like I did. When I first started playing this back in the 80s, one of the first songs I learned was On the Banks of the Ohio, and it's been downhill ever since. But I just love that stuff, and I love the stories, and my songs want to start somewhere, and they want to go somewhere, and they want to convey something. And this next song was based on something that I remember reading in junior high school, and then I thought about it again a couple years ago. And this is a story by the American short story novelist Shirley Jackson, The Lottery. And if you know the story, back in 1957, when Shirley Jackson published this book, this short story, in the New Yorker magazine, it received the most hate mail about an article that the New Yorker magazine ever received it back then. People were so upset. And for those not familiar with the story, the lottery takes place in little town America. 100 years ago, 10 years ago, tomorrow. It happens in this little town. Everyone once a year gathers together and they draw a piece of paper out of a box, and whoever pulls the black circle on a piece of paper, the lottery, the lot, is automatically and unceremoniously stoned to death on the spot. And then the people dust it off their hands and they go back to work, and they do it again next year, and they do it again next year, and they do it again. And the idea was, this is kind of like, traditions. Some traditions, we don't know why we follow them. It's just something we've always done, and it's something that people just do. And sort of, it can be like nationalism or racism or bigotry or fill in the blank. And nowadays I think about like being online, how quickly people are to turn on each other, and like and I like to say this, I'm not even talking about politics. I'm just saying, like, write on Facebook or something, I love my dog. Oh, so you hate cats? How about those tigers? What do you know about baseball? So how quickly, sorry about that, folks, how quickly people are to do that. So I call this song How to Throw the Stone. It was a beautiful morning, there was excitement in the air. Boys out running around gathering up stones, piling them in the square. Little kids out running around playing tag, making lots of noise. Older girls looking over their shoulders, looking at the boys. The church bells all were ringing, conversation in the air. Someone said, seems like we did this just the other week. Has it really been a year? Someone said, I heard they're talking about giving this up in the North Village, a few miles away. Old man said, pack of damn fools. What's wrong with people these days? It's a black box, it's a pile of rocks, it's a three-legged stool. Old wooden chips and now paper slips, and the kids are all out of school. It's a stopwatch, it's a watch pot, half-forgotten set of old rules. It's just something that we've always done. It's just something that we do. Assembled, all the families were there. Well, it's a household to draw for families and the children in their care. And that family will take a turn, they'll have to trust their luck. But for one family member, luck's just not gonna be enough. It's a black box, it's a pile of rocks, it's a three-legged stool. The chips and now paper slips, and the kids are all out of school. It's a stopwatch, it's a watch pot, half-forgotten set of old rules. It's just something that we've always done. It's just something that we do. How quickly laughter and song can turn to silence, and love and kindness turn to violence. When the crime is committed by everyone, then the blame can't be laid on rituals. All the songs that once were sung are now unknown. The one thing that people all remember, they remember how to throw the stone. They remember how to throw the stone. They remember how to throw the stone. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. I have an audience here. My
I
grandson
know,
is
I
here.
hear them.
Come here.
It's the audience. You're good. No, it's not you. It's just stuff. Nick
Okay,
has a
I can
kid.
hear. Come here. Come here.
He wants to be. My kid wants to be.
He wants to be. Yeah. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, look. See,
Aw,
see, there's other kids. There's other kids. Look. There's other kids. See, there's one. Kiddos. Hi.
Here's Juno.
So you gotta start him young. Ah, there we go. Anyway, but thanks for listening to that stuff. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Cool. All right. All right. So now we're gonna get into some Maya stuff. So this is from the album Es Tiempo. It was released in 2000 in, I want to say 8. I could be wrong. And am I wrong? Am I right? 8. Okay, I was right. And this is called Solo un Milagro. And it was inspired by George Harrison's song Within You, Without You. I forgot. So I'm going to go back to the. Thank you. Thank you very much. That middle part is like very, it's kind of psychedelic. So it's been, yeah, like I said, it's been a long time since I played these songs. But yeah, it's a good like bossa nova feel. Kind of want to move your hips a little bit. All right, so this next song is about, it's in Spanish as well. It's called Un Pedazo, also from the same record, from Es Tiempo. And it's just about relationships and how when you leave like a relationship, they take, you know, a piece of your heart that always like, yeah, it always stays with you. And my husband's recording me, making me nervous. So yes, without further ado, this is Un Pedazo. Yo me quedé con un pedazo de tu corazón, corazón, corazón. Oh, en los estrellas siento amor enfrente de mí. Siento amor, siento amor, siento amor. El amor sí espera por mí. Sí espera, sí espera, sí espera. Oh, años pasan y pienso de ti. Años pasan, pasan. Yo me quedé con un pedazo de tu corazón, de corazón, de corazón, de corazón. Oh, escúchame, escúchame, yo tengo razón, tengo razón, tengo razón, tengo razón. En mis sueños tú sientes feliz, sientes feliz, sientes feliz, sientes feliz. Oh, en mi vida no querías estar junto de mí, junto de mí, junto de mí, junto de mí. Pedazo de tu corazón. Los tiempos oscuros brilla mi corazón. Los tiempos oscuros brilla mi corazón.
Getting into the groove there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that the other stuff hasn't had. I mean, yours or Nick's hasn't had like a rhythm to it, but definite shift there. And I love hearing these stripped down Aya songs.
Yeah, it's fun. It's they're very like even if you don't speak Spanish, there's like something that the melody and yeah, it's co-written with my husband, and yeah, it's special music.
It's very hypnotic,
Yeah, there's something about it. It's very spiritual. Definitely, the first time I heard it, it sounded nothing like this.
Yeah,
but the string arrangements on the record.
Ooh.
Is what grabs me immediately, and then I was like, "Hey, these songs work like acoustically. That's amazing." So, yeah.
Do you play any of this stuff normally acoustically? I know you were saying that you haven't really in a while, or
Yeah, I have not really in a while. I do like a once a week thing where I do cover songs for Potbelly Sandwich Shop, just one particular one. And I do once in a while sneak in on an original. And that one sometimes, but it's been for the first couple of songs I sang earlier, I have not played those songs in a very long time. But yeah, I was starting to get ready to do some shows, hopefully in April, May again. So we're starting to get our feet wet again. Yeah.
Well, like I said before, I electrically, I love the band, but I mean, you're really adept at playing stuff acoustically, and
I mean, that's where I started. So
yeah. I mean, and you're absolutely right. You didn't have to know the Spanish to get into the groove, the spirit of the song, the feeling of the song. I mean, one could even say that is true for songs that might be more cryptic, either intentionally or not, where you're not really sure what the song's about, but you get the feeling from it.
Exactly, and our lyrics, even if you do speak Spanish, understand Spanish, are kind of cryptic like that too, because it's left to the interpreter to like get the meaning from it. It's very open, I guess, minded lyrics, if you will.
Oh, I like that. And then the psychedelic quality, I think, lends, the musical psychedelic quality, because you use that word, and that's exactly what I love about your stuff.
Yeah, thank you, really. Yeah,
of course. Well, I will let you once again get your bearings. You've got one more song, one more pass in a few minutes, and sounding really good.
Yeah, likewise. We're all warmed up. I could hear it in your voice and Nick's voice. So yeah.
Which is typical. By the time we're all at our peak, it's all over,
And
so
like, come on, ready to go. Oh, it's over. Okay.
It's like a microcosm of life, I think, in some respects.
Exactly.
So all right. So I'll see you in a few minutes.
All right.
Oh, and your daughter's adorable, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I could just keep her and the kid up there forever. Just you guys just relax, read her a story or something. That'd be fine with me. So, but I guess we have a show to do. And then Nick's grandson special appearance. I have no young ones to do that here. It's just myself and my abode. So the last song I'm going to do, and I lozenged in there kind of casually to try to keep myself in the best vocal quality that I can. It's nice of Lupe to say feeling warmed up. I guess I am, playing wise and singing wise. But this last one I'm going to do is another Injured Parties song, and it is off of the second Injured Parties album, Product Placement. And it's the lead-off song on on that album. And I had told Nick it was inspired by Pete Townsend. And as much as we were talking at the beginning of the show, and I said I'm not a real fan of canned dialogue, having certain things ready to say about songs, but inevitably it always winds back around to this one, to the talking about it was inspired by the Who song Tattoo. And the one thing about it was always, it's such a great song, but it always sounded to me like it was missing a conclusion. He circles back around and repeats the beginning. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've heard it, actually. And then does some Daltrey does some vocal stuff, and it always seemed like they were just filling in the spot at the end where I felt like there's more to say. But it wasn't out of any sort of criticism of the song that that I wanted to write this. It's more about the idea of how, you know, tattoos have become synonymous with, you know, musical culture, and I think it's some of the more, as a tattoo-free person, how do I say this? Like the reasoning behind having one just seems to have been somewhat lost. Let's put it that way. Anyway, it's called "Got a Tattoo," with a shout out to Pete Townsend, who I'm sure is tuned in. He does every month. Gonna piss off the parents, gonna make them squirm, gonna disappoint them, gonna make them learn. They think they know everything, but I know stuff too. Went down to the mall, got myself a tattoo. I got a tattoo. Got a tattoo. Got a tattoo. Got a tattoo. Joined a band. We make lots of noise, and the neighbors complain when we jam with our toys. But something was missing, and that feeling grew, till our bass player said, "Let's all get tattoos. Let's all get tattoos. Let's all get tattoos. Let's all get tattoos. Let's all get tattoos." It's something so simple, just pictures on skin, but you can't really change the person within. When I get older, I might get a wife and work lots of jobs to get by in this life. But if I should live to 102, I'll never be alone with all my tattoos. Well, all my tattoos, all my tattoos, all my tattoos, all my tattoos. Get a tattoo. I got a tattoo.
Got a tattoo.
That one definitely deserves that.
Bam.
The scrunch. Yeah, I gotta work. You know, key of A. That's your who key right there.
Love it.
And then not to say everything's in A, but and then of course the won't get fooled again. Little.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that stuff.
Yeah. It
Absolutely.
demanded that it must be done there. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, that's great. I've had, what a great night. I've had so much fun. Your songs, Lupe songs, this has been so good. And I appreciate you having me on. I really mean that. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm happy to have you back, and, month to month, I never, quite know. So, I mean, occasionally it'll be like, I have a friend. I'd like, can you book us both? But it's usually just like flipping coins in the air. You just don't know how it's going to work out,
Right.
And then almost inevitably, it's just the pairings are interesting,
Yeah, that's right. And this is what I like about this style of music. It's like it's like going to a library and pulling a book, or like off your shelf behind you, just reaching up there and pulling something out, like right behind you.
Yeah.
Like just pull something out. You don't even know what it is. Start flipping through it, and it's great. Just it's interesting. What is this? I like that. That's what's nice. It's eclectic collection. Yeah.
No, well, I appreciate that, and thank God that's real back there. Yes, so it's.
Yeah.
I'm not just priming the house, although I don't think anyone would be interested in buying it if they saw the madness that was back there. It's an amalgam of many things.
What is that stuff? Like books?
We got books,
tapes?
we got CDs, we got. There's a typewriter back there up on the top.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Oh, I see it. Yeah, way up there.
Yeah. A portable, World War II era, I believe.
Wow, that's a lost. The sound of a typing typewriter in the other room is a lost sound.
Oh, it's like I hate to use the word hypnotic again, but like there's something just like very soothing and rhythmic about the sound of that because it's irregular. It has a rhythm, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, I will once again, bow to you.
No, not at all.
We'll save the major love fest for the end, but you've been sounding good all night.
Thank you. So you guys.
And I'm once again pleased that this could work out for this month.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Right on. All right. So I will see you in a few.
Thank you. Okay, so this keeping with topical folk singer, something to say. In the spirit of Woody Guthrie or the Bob Dylan, Phil Oakes, one of my biggest influences, Phil Oakes. I want to write a song about something that's happening or something that needs to happen, and this is a song like that. This is a song about Leonard Peltier. If you know the name Leonard Peltier, he's an American Indian, and he's been in prison since 1976. He was part of the American Indian movement, and the way I understand the story was there was trouble on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation for a long time, and for the 2 years before the incident, 60 people were killed, and there were basically cold cases, never looked into, nothing like this. Incident happens on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation and the Jumping Bull Ranch. 2 FBI agents come up in unmarked cars flying into the ranch. A shootout happens. They're killed. Another Indian is killed. Joe Kills-Right stunts. And one of the biggest manhunts in history happens, and this is the story of Leonard Peltier. Since this happened, there's been numerous songs written about it. Tom Morello, Little Steven from Springsteen, Glenn Phillips from Toad the Wet Sprocket. So many people have written songs. Robert Redford made a movie about this, The Incident at Oglala. And the Pope, the Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, everyone's been calling for this man to be released. And he's 78 years old now, and he's been in prison since 1976. This is a song called Leonard Peltier is Still Serving Time. One morning on the reservation, 2 cars come roaring in hot pursuit. They're looking for Jimmy Eagle and some stolen cowboy boots. One thing leads to another, just like that, the lead begins to fly. Now there's one dead Oglala man, and there's 2 dead FBI. So over the hill comes the cavalry, they're gonna round up everyone. But they had knelt and prayed and made a getaway through a culvert on the run. The cops are beating down the bushes, hounds are running back and forth. Somehow Leonard fell between the cracks and he started heading north. One street man stood suspected, suspected of the very same crime. Then two men get acquitted. So as Leonard Peltier still serving time. Isn't justice meant to make amends, or is justice sometimes just revenge? Don't you think he's been there long enough? It's time to set him free. Now two wrongs don't make a right, and every dog will have his day. But see, two agents were killed out there, and someone is gonna pay. From the day of the trial, when it was time to tell the truth, investigators and prosecutors have thrown their watches from the roof. I've heard justice is blind, maybe blind, but I know that she can hear. Leonard scratching off the calendar, the weeks and months and years. So maybe just getting even's what it's really all about. Still it's cold and dark and lonely, there in that shadow of a down. Once three men stood suspected of the very same crime. Then two men get acquitted. So as Leonard Peltier still serving time. Isn't justice meant to make amends, or is justice sometimes just revenge? Don't you think he's been there long enough? It's time to set him free. Free Leonard Peltier.
That was a rockin' one.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Love that. That was great. Are you a fan of the
This is my husband.
anthology of folk music by Harry Smith?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Immediately made me think of that.
Oh, right on. Yes, yeah. Yeah, I like that. And again, it's kind of like, I come from a sort of a punk rock background. I used to play my acoustic folk stuff in front of the punk rock bands in between sets, you know? It's like kind of a contrast. And so I always, like, a lot of my stuff gets ramped up from here. And
It's all
I
the
got
same
something to say.
energy, though. It's all the same
It
energy.
is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One man or one woman and a guitar with something to say. You can, you know, I can tell, because I really believe in this case and this man, and I can stand on one foot and tell the story in 3 minutes, and I tell it to people that have never heard of the story and say, oh wow, that doesn't sound right. That's not fair. But the problem is there's so much injustice like this, and we all know the stories. They write themselves basically, and so I think that's the important. Like folk music is important in that way. It's the storytelling. It goes back thousands of years, telling stories around the campfire or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's immediate. It's immediate.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yep.
It comes into you. It comes right out.
Yep.
There's
That's
no
it.
thinking about it. Yep.
It's magic. Your magic.
Hey,
Make
thank
magic happen.
It's like,
Oh, thank
like
Yeah.
taking a picture with your ears.
Yeah.
you know, and again, like so many, like that's what drew me into like this kind of music, and the beautiful things you're playing tonight, Lupe, and stuff. There's something about, isn't it funny that just a little box with strings and the song and the story, it creates something bigger than what you're doing, right?
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, just like what you guys were saying earlier. It's like making a pie. Like, you know, you're making.
The pie. Larry's pie.
You're crafting something up, making a bench, making a chair. That's amazing. You're very, very talented. I'm so
Oh, thank you so
lucky
much.
to hear you and
Thank you.
meet you. So, yeah, nice playing with you. All right.
Great, thank you so
This
much.
last song,
Let's hear your stuff.
All right.
Right on.
Cool.
What
happened? All right, so I'm gonna have my husband join me for this one. This is called No Duermes Más from the Hace Tiempo album, and yeah, it's about not sleepwalking through your life, which he helps me, and my kid helps me not sleepwalk through my life, but yeah.
And to know we haven't played this song in probably what 12, 13 years.
Yeah, I've never actually played this song acoustically. I don't know why, because
Right.
it translates very beautifully. So yesterday was the first day I did it. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I just asked him to join me, if that's okay. Hopefully this is okay. It's not breaking any rules.
I think we're breaking some
Okay,
rules.
we're breaking some rules.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So this is cool. I mean, we haven't. I actually haven't even picked up a
No,
guitar.
yeah. So thanks,
And, like,
Larry.
Yeah, Larry, thank you, because this what you're seeing. Lupe and I haven't done this.
This made it happen. So
we haven't actually done this thing since it started.
Yeah.
But
2004.
Yeah, and that show, Larry, that we did at the Empty Bottle, that was a special night. Lupe is reminding us of that. So you're reaching out to her it was a sort of a signal for us to like, hey, let's pick up these guitars.
It's a blessing then and a blessing now. So
right. So
thanks
Larry,
for still doing it, as Nick was saying earlier. So
yeah, it's a blessing to be on the show.
For sure.
All right, we're gonna play this song with No Duermes Más. It's sort of like inspired by Shuggy Otis, kind of jazz chords, and I really love the Sam Prekop solo album that he did, particularly the last song. We just lifted all that stuff up from that stuff, and then we just put on some Marvin Gaye, Lupe vocals, and we had Matt Lux and Steve Lamos play on it.
This was a true collaboration.
Yeah,
Yes,
so, and then when we were stripping back to production, if you hear the record, it's lush, but it's like, how many chords?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then we realized, wow, we wrote a mantra. That's pretty groovy.
Yeah.
So let's do our mantra.
It's 3 chords maybe.
Three
Okay,
chords.
let's just do it. We'll do it.
We can do this mantra for you.
Tienes sueños, los vas a ver, no te olvidas, no te olvidas, no te olvidas de un tiempo. Espera. Despiértate. Tienes sueños, los vas a ver. No te olvidas, no te olvidas, no te olvidas de un tiempo. Espera. Ya no duermes, ya no duermes más. Abre los ojos y mira ya. Ya no duermes, ya no duermes, ya no duermes más. Abre los ojos y mira ya. Ya no duermes, ya no duermes, ya no duermes más. Abre los ojos y mira ya. Ya no duermes, ya no duermes, ya no duermes más. Abre los ojos y mira ya. Ya no don't let this pass. I'm lost so lost and great I am. You don't let this, you don't let this, you don't let this, you don't let this pass.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah,
That was
we're
fun.
practicing.
Oh, of course. And actually, you know, on the one hand, if you decided to break a rule that was like that would have been no problem, but this kind of having an accompanist or whatever, no problem whatsoever. That's fine.
Very cool.
I almost feel bad that it wasn't really defying the rules. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, that's okay to do.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounded awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, this is so much fun.
Yeah, I am. That show was pretty amazing at the Empty Bottles. It was nice to hear that. Yeah, I mean, it became a yearly thing. It was never planned to be that way, you know, but it developed its own momentum, and some people played semi-regularly, but there were always new people coming in, and but that was a really great. Yeah, 2004, I think is. Did you?
Oh my
was
god,
there-
that was like right when we started. Then, yeah.
Is that right?
No, it's got to be later than that.
Yeah, it's no, maybe 2008.
2008.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It was. Oh, because
The first album.
you heard us on the radio, so
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I got 4 from there. Yeah, that would have been close to the first ones we did, and you guys were a few. Like I can't remember the 6th one or something. I can't remember, but yeah,
That
I'm
was-
not gonna start going down memory lane with that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that was incredible. So I
We
feel
have a fun show.
honored to have had a guest appearance here. Numerous guest appearances, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Very cool.
So thank you so much. Before I, you know, space out and forget anything else, which I really don't think I did tonight, I want to make sure that, you know, as well as the big applause we're going to do at the end, but anything that either of you have to promote or anything that, you know, you can verbalize and or Lupe, I know you don't have access to the Facebook feed here, but if there's anything that needs to go in over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I put something in after the fact? Because I'm
Sure.
I'm not-
Yeah, you can. For what it's worth. Yeah, I can say this while we're live. Yeah, sure. You can go back and you can comment on the comments that are there, and
Okay.
that's probably the best way to do it. But do you have anything coming up?
We just booked a show
Yeah.
at Empty Bottle.
Yeah,
Great.
well, kind of. Yeah, we have a lot of things going on, and then nothing going on.
Yeah.
We started a record label after we had taken a break from music to start releasing all this music that we had recorded, and with the idea we end up working with 6 different artists. So right now, not only do we do Aya and produce Aya music, we also help 6 other amazing artists that we work with on our record label called No Se Discos, which is just as difficult to find as Aya is online.
Yeah.
But it's sort of part of the obscurity of what we love to make music. But the label's called No Se Discos. We have 6 amazing artists that we work with: Nefu, Chewbacca. We got a whole bunch of other stations.
Different genres. Yeah.
All different genres. So we're sort of imparting our own wisdom in the business and sort of guiding other young artists into new stuff. So check us out. We're also on Instagram and Ayalandia and No Se Discos and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we got a show. Lupe plays every Tuesday at Pop Ellie's. So you can
in Ford City.
Ford City.
By
so
the
get out there.
airport.
We're always releasing stuff. Check us online on Bandcamp and on Spotify and all that stuff.
Yeah, if people haven't heard the Aya stuff, they should. I mean, they'll be blown away by it. Yeah, it's really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And for sure, go and after the fact, insert the links in there so that people have access to that and can find it. Yeah.
Very cool.
And Nick, what have you to say, man of Detroit, via Flint?
Wait, you're
Can't hear you. Turn that mic on.
Your mic's off. Your mic's off. There you go. Sorry.
Once again, Mr. Pro turned his mic off, right? So yeah.
And that's happening. This is Zach. Let me see, where is it? Here we go. Hey. Okay, Zach. Anyway, he's gonna run off. No, but something cool that's happening with the Leonard Peltier song. They're doing a compilation record, and there's someone out in San Francisco. His name is Opium Sabah. He's the son of Chevy Sabah, which was a world music DJ producer from forever, and they're doing world music's beats and stuff. They're gonna take my song and just like put something under it.
Ooh,
which I've
great.
never had anyone done, so they're gonna do that, and it's gonna be a CD compilation of all different songs for Leonard Peltier. So I'm excited about that. But that's all really. Not a lot else is happening. I'm just playing here and there, little shows. But but you can find my music I'm on Spotify, but Nick Juno on Spotify, and then junomusic.info is my website with links and stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully we will find a time to have you come down for the live version. Once I get back to that, you know,
That'd be
I'm
great,
still staying away from all that stuff. Like I said, I've done I'm a poet as well, so I've done some readings, but I'm a little neurotic about getting out there and helping.
It's been a crazy couple years, right? This COVID, it changed everything.
Yeah, who would have thought? You know, I like to think of myself as fairly flexible. I mean, I'm a creature of habit in some ways, but in other ways, I'm pretty flexible. And you know, nothing would shock me. But who would have expected? You know, that and things are just really not bouncing back. You know, maybe they shouldn't in some respects. You know,
Who knows?
But I do miss playing in front of an audience. You know.
Yes,
so.
it's the best. I love it. It's great.
Maybe it's better if I don't play in front of an audience. I don't know. Maybe it's better for the audience if I don't. You know.
No, one day.
Yes, we'll get it.
You have to play.
I'll be back.
We'll get back to it.
So I know you want to get back to your private lives. Me too. I gotta have dinner. It's always a late dinner after this. Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm up late, so this is perfect timing. So once again, thank you so much, Lupe Martinez.
Thank you.
Nick Juno.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Larry O'Dean.
Oh, thanks.
Larry
Wow, I'm
O'Dean,
gonna applaud for myself, but yeah, that's nice. So we'll be back the third Friday next month. Please tune in. And you both don't fly out of here. We're just going to do our official goodbye, and then we'll do our post-show cry-a-thon, which is something I always like with the guests. So,
okay.
So all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See you next month.
Thanks,
Lupe. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Larry. Bye. Bye, Lupe.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.